Welcome back to Healthier Daily. I'm Dr. Ben Carter. Picture this, the day is done. The house is quiet. You pour yourself a small glass of wine or a familiar cocktail. You sink into your favorite chair and feel that warm glow spread through you. It's a ritual, a comfort, a reward. You believe it's harmless. You may even believe it's good for you. But what if I told you that warm glow is a lie? What if that nightly ritual is not a reward, but a betrayal? A chemical traitor you invite into your home every night that patiently waits for you to fall asleep before it begins its devastating work on your brain. Because while you sleep, that harmless drink can trigger a cascade of events thickening your blood, spiking your blood pressure, and inflaming your arteries that culminates in the ultimate neurological catastrophe, a stroke. You go to bed feeling relaxed and wake up in a world you no longer recognize. A world where your thoughts are trapped behind a wall of silence, where one side of your body is a stranger, where the independence you've spent a lifetime building is erased in a single silent moment. For decades, we've been told a dangerous myth that a little red wine is good for the heart. For anyone over 60, that myth isn't just wrong, it's deadly. And today we are going to expose it. We are not just sharing tips. We are putting that glass of alcohol on trial. And I will act as the prosecutor presenting the scientific evidence against it. Presiding over this critical hearing is a man whose wisdom serves as our guide, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. The charges you lay out are serious, and they must be. This is not a trial against pleasure. It is a defense of life itself, a defense of memory, of dignity, of the clarity that allows us to cherish our final chapters. Before any of us can pass judgment on our own habits, we must first have the courage to hear all the evidence, no matter how uncomfortable it may be.
Well said. To begin, we need to know who is in the courtroom with us today. Please type the number 1 in the comments below and let us know what city, state, or country you are joining us from. It's important to know we are not facing this evidence alone. And if you haven't already, please take this moment to subscribe so you are always a part of these vital discussions. Now let us begin. I would like to present the first charge against alcohol. So Dr. Hinohara, let's confront the first and perhaps the most dangerous lie about alcohol, that many seniors still believe the idea that just a little bit, especially a glass of red wine, is actually good for your heart and overall health. Where does this myth come from, and why is it so dangerous after 60?
This myth is dangerous because it contains a kernel of truth from past research, which has since been widely misunderstood and misapplied. It gives us permission to continue a habit that feels good under the guise of it being healthy. But for an aging body, this healthy habit is a deception. The body's ability to process alcohol diminishes with age, and what might have been a minor stressor at 40 becomes a major threat at 70. I think of a former patient, a retired librarian, who was meticulous about her health. She walked daily, ate well, and had a single glass of red wine with her book every evening. She was certain it was contributing to her longevity. But one morning, she awoke with a slight slur in her speech and difficulty finding words. A mild stroke had occurred in the night. Her healthy habit, she came to realize, was the very thing that created the conditions for it. She wasn't drinking enough water to offset the wine, and her body paid the price.
That story is a tragic but perfect illustration of the first way this lie falls apart under scientific scrutiny. The claim is that it's heart healthy, but at the same time, alcohol is a powerful diuretic. It forces your kidneys to flush out more water than you consume, leading to mild dehydration. This directly impacts your blood composition, specifically a measure called hematocrit. When you're dehydrated, the plasma, the watery part of your blood, decreases, making your blood thicker and more concentrated. This is the opposite of heart healthy. Thick, viscous blood increases the risk of clot formation exponentially. So while you may feel relaxed, that single glass of wine is actively making your blood stickier and harder for your heart to pump, especially to the delicate vessels of the brain. But it gets worse. The second part of the lie is the idea that it relaxes you and lowers your blood pressure.
Yes, many people feel that. I had a patient, a gentleman, who swore by his evening drink to calm his nerves. He felt a pleasant warmth and a sense of ease wash over him, and he interpreted that as his body relaxing and his blood pressure going down. He was only half right, and the second half of the story, the one he couldn't feel, was the dangerous part.
That warm, relaxed feeling is caused by an initial temporary drop in blood pressure due to vasodilation, your blood vessels widening. This is the bait. The switch happens hours later while you sleep. As your body metabolizes the alcohol, it triggers a powerful rebound vasoconstriction. Your blood vessels clamp down hard, causing a significant blood pressure spike exactly when you are most vulnerable in the early hours of the morning. Furthermore, the primary byproduct of alcohol metabolism in the liver is a toxic compound called acetaldehyde. This substance is a known carcinogen and a powerful inflammatory agent. It directly irritates and damages the fragile inner lining of your arteries. So the idea that this process is healthy is fundamentally flawed. That one glass is simultaneously setting you up for a dangerous blood pressure spike and inflaming your vascular system from the inside out. Any potential minor antioxidant benefit is utterly negated by the immediate circulatory damage. So we've thoroughly debunked the myth that a daily drink is heart healthy for those over 60, revealing how it actually thickens the blood and destabilizes blood pressure. But that leads us to the second equally pervasive lie, the one people often use as their primary justification: it helps me fall asleep. I get a much better night's rest. Dr. Hinohara, this is perhaps the most deceptive trick alcohol plays on our brain, isn't it?
It is the most profound deception of all, because alcohol does not grant you sleep. It merely renders you unconscious. It offers sedation, which is a cheap and dangerous imitation of true rest. True rest heals the brain. Alcohol-induced sedation silently damages it. The peace it seems to offer is an illusion, and the price for that illusion is your memory and your clarity the next day. I once spoke with a retired firefighter, a man who had spent his life running toward chaos. In the quiet of retirement, he found he couldn't shut his brain off at night. He began taking a small shot of whiskey before bed. It worked, he said. It knocked him out. But over the months, he started noticing frightening changes. He would forget where he parked his car. He struggled to follow conversations. The man who was once a pillar of sharp, decisive action now lived in a growing fog of confusion. His sleep aid was not aiding him. It was slowly dismantling his mind.
The story of the firefighter is a perfect example of what the science shows us. When we sleep, our brain isn't just off. It's performing critical maintenance. The most important phase for this is REM sleep. During REM, your brain consolidates memories from the day, solves problems, and activates its cellular cleanup crew to flush out toxins like the amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. Alcohol is one of the most potent suppressors of REM sleep known to science. Even one drink can significantly reduce or even eliminate your first few REM cycles. But there's a deeper reason why alcohol-induced sleep is so fragmented and unfulfilling. Think of your brain as having an accelerator pedal glutamate and a brake pedal GABA. Alcohol works by slamming on the brain's brake GABA, which is why you feel drowsy and fall asleep quickly. However, as the alcohol wears off in the middle of the night, your brain, sensing the brake is stuck, tries to compensate by flooring the accelerator glutamate. This surge of glutamate is what jolts you awake at 2 or 3 a.m., often with a racing heart and a sense of anxiety. You didn't wake up because you were rested. You woke up because your brain chemistry was thrown into chaos. That is not rest. It is a neurological battle. True restorative sleep is a cornerstone of brain health, and it's clear that alcohol is its enemy, not its friend. On that note, we'd love to build some community wisdom. Sleep is so crucial, so what is one non-alcoholic way you've personally found to relax and unwind before bed? Please share your tips with the community in the comments below. We have now demonstrated that alcohol is not heart healthy and that it is, in fact, a powerful enemy of restorative sleep. But this brings us to the final and most insidious lie, Dr. Hinohara. It's the last line of defense for the habit. Okay, maybe it's not perfect, but I am in control. I only have one. I am careful, therefore I am safe. Why is this sense of control such a dangerous illusion for people over 60?
It is the most dangerous illusion because it mistakes self-discipline in one area for safety in all others. After 60, true safety is not just about the quantity in your glass. It is about the absolute reliability of your judgment and your routine, the very two things that alcohol, even in small amounts, is designed to undermine. True control is choosing clarity. Alcohol, by its very nature, is the relinquishing of clarity. I think of one of the most heartbreaking cases I've encountered. A widow in her late 70s living alone. The loneliness in the evenings was immense, and she found that a glass of wine helped to soften the edges of the silence. She was on blood pressure medication, and being a very cautious woman, she told herself, I must never mix my pills with alcohol. So on the nights she had her wine, she would skip her medication, believing she was making the safer choice. She had no idea that this cautious act was the equivalent of disarming her home security system right before a burglar arrives.
That story is absolutely critical for everyone to hear because the science on this is unequivocal. For essential medications that manage your circulatory system, consistency is not just important, it is everything. Your body depends on a steady level of that medication to keep things stable. When you skip a blood pressure pill, you leave your body completely undefended against the natural blood pressure spike that occurs in the early morning, which we've already established is made even worse by alcohol's rebound effect. If you're on a blood thinner like warfarin, the interaction is even more perilous. Alcohol can dangerously amplify the drug's effect, dramatically increasing the risk of a catastrophic brain bleed. Her safe choice was, in fact, the most high-risk decision she could have made. The illusion of control led her to create the perfect storm inside her own body.
And there was another layer to this. Let us imagine for a moment that this same woman sitting alone after her drink felt the first subtle warning signs of a stroke, a tingling in her fingers, a slight confusion. In a state of perfect clarity, she might have been alarmed. But with her judgment slightly softened by the alcohol, it is far more likely she would dismiss it, telling herself, I'm just tired, or it's just the wine. The substance that contributes to the problem also masks its arrival.
Exactly. It robs you of your ability to be your own first responder. We teach everyone to remember the life-saving acronym FAST, face, arm, speech time. But that tool is only effective if the person experiencing the symptoms or someone around them has the clear judgment to recognize the signs and act immediately. If you are alone and your own perception is clouded, that vital window of time to get help can vanish without you even realizing it. So the lie of being in control is twofold. You are not in control of your body's chaotic internal reaction to the alcohol, and you are not in full control of your ability to respond to a crisis. True safety for anyone over 60 is found in unwavering consistency and a clear mind, not in the moderation of a known risk. So today we have dismantled the 3 most dangerous lies surrounding alcohol for people over 60. We've shown that the heart healthy myth is false, revealing the clear link between alcohol and stroke risk. We've seen that it doesn't aid sleep, but instead wages war on your brain health over 60. And we've learned that the idea of being in control is an illusion when judgment is impaired. The science is clear that nightly drink contributes to the dangerous blood pressure spike in the middle of the night. And for many, it can also be a primary trigger for serious heart arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation. Understanding this is not about fear. It is about empowerment. It is about making informed, healthy living choices based on the most current science, not on outdated myths.
Yes, the purpose of this discussion was not to take pleasure away from you. It was to invite you to find a deeper, more authentic source of peace. The quiet calm that many seek at the bottom of a glass can never compare to the profound peace that comes from a clear mind, a mind that is sharp, present, and fully able to cherish every memory and every moment. That is the ultimate reward. That is the health you deserve. Choosing clarity over sedation is the highest form of self-respect.
A powerful and perfect summary. Dr. Hinahara, thank you once again for your incredible wisdom. And to every member of our Healthier Daily community, thank you for your courage in facing this difficult topic with us. If you found this information valuable, please like this video and share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. And if you have not already, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss these life-changing conversations. Now for our final question to you. After hearing these myths debunked, what is one positive choice you will commit to for your health starting tonight? Share your commitment in the comments below. Your story may be the inspiration someone else needs to see. Before we sign off, it is important that you remember the information presented in this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or another qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. I'm Dr. Ben Carter. Be well, and we'll see you next time.